People are obsessed with talking about creative economies and creative community and loving like the idea of creatives. But if you don't actually have spaces that are conducive to creative practices, and if they don't feel supported and available and affirmed, then there's no reason to stick around. That's kind of the general gist of Cactus, is we aspire to be an artist-centered space for multimedia arts communities to come together. I'm Kelsey Kaufmann. I'm the owner and operator of Cactus Club. Cactus Club is a small, artist-run, queer-owned music venue on the south side of Milwaukee that has a very storied history. I mean, Cactus Club's name comes back to the 1950s when it was an old Coast Guard bar and they wanted it to be a country and western bar and they picked names out of a hat. And then in the 90s, the former owner made it into a seminal indie rock club. In 2011, I started working here. February 12th of 2020, I finally bought the club with no foresight whatsoever that we would be closing March 14th, 2020 because of COVID-19.
And so a place like Cactus Club, I think especially during the pandemic, those are spaces that were hit the hardest, but also missed the most.
In 2019, you couldn't host an all-ages show in a space like Cactus. And we worked with the city of Milwaukee to redefine how a Center for Performing Arts was designated at the city level.
She remembers going to shows as a 16-year-old and not being allowed in. I think she's really taking from these experiences and putting them into something really beautiful. For instance, now she's working on getting Cactus Club to be ADA accessible. The building is grandfathered in. She doesn't have to, but she's really working to try to figure that out.
It was really important to me, us being a space that's welcoming and affirming to folks of all walks of life. In the digital age, post-pandemic, everyone's so isolated, you can just come and have a good conversation without any strings attached. People take risks all the time by being themselves and speaking out. We can look to our trans community, folks that have been historically marginalized. The space is supposed to function as an escape from the very material, harsh realities of a society that doesn't value a lot of different people and a lot of different lives.